Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. My name is Rachel. I'm a registered nurse, mom of two, and I have been sharing Protandem as well as other products by LifeVantage for the last 4 years. And I have Dr. Bruce Hyde on the call today. We're just going to briefly cover um, some education and information on how Protandem NRF2 and our other activators can benefit you if you are struggling with dementia or mental health issues or even general forgetfulness. Um, so we will get right at it and see where this goes. And thank you, Dr. Hyde, for joining me today. Um, I know in your practices, you've worked with people of, the elderly, especially is what I wanted to talk about today. And how can Protandem benefit them from your perspective with their mind and their health, but especially with their mental health. Anyone over 50 or above that's struggling with that. So, yeah, what's your perspective?
All right. So Protandem is the product that we're addressing, and more specifically, the technology involving the NRF2 pathway.
Correct.
And with the company LifeVantage, there's multiple products that actually target the NRF2 pathway.
Mm-hmm.
But staying focused on that, Protandem is a natural product of a herbal blend that is known to be the most effective activator of the NRF2 pathway.
Right.
And that pathway simply sends a signal to the genetic code saying, make this group of molecules that happen to be enzymes. And the role of these enzymes is to actually remove free radicals from within the cell. Okay, now probably everyone's gotten something in their eye or something caught in their shoe, like a little pebble. And that little speck in the eye or that little pebble in the foot can really cause a lot of irritation. Okay, well, in a similar sort of way, free radicals in the cell cause a lot of irritation. And we call that inflammation. Now, you can just be completely healthy and still produce free radicals, because just like burning wood or burning gas, for your automobile, there will be smoke or there will be exhaust. Even after you've gotten all the benefits, there's still this residue. And both are very irritating if you get them in your eyes or if you breathe them. They can even be worse than irritating, as you know. So just the normal process of metabolism produces the end result of this residue, and in the body at the cell level we call that free radical. And we are wonderfully made, and as a result our bodies have the ability to clean up this free radical irritating exposure so that we feel well. And we might feel well until we're old, and some people may feel old sooner than their age would suggest they should feel old. And some people, I saw someone just today, a lady at age 83, and she didn't have any complaints. She didn't
Right.
have any pain. She didn't have any joints that were hurting, no low back pain, but she was losing her memory. Okay. And that's why I saw her. But yeah, we all age differently. But it seems that part of this aging process has a lot to do with how well our body at the cell level is able to clean up that which causes irritation or inflammation. And I personally have worked with Protandim for um, maybe close to 10 years. And probably the most dramatic target that I have observed, because I work with an elderly population, is with those with dementia.
Mm,
Okay. Now, very quickly, these are wellness products. These are not medical products. These do
right,
not treat dementia. They don't treat any disease. They
right,
support the body for wellness. And wellness means that you have less dementia, not more dementia.
right,
And ultimate wellness means that you got a clear mind, you don't have any dementia. But we're very careful not to say we're treating a disease like dementia with a natural product like Protandim.
right,
And the reason why this product doesn't even need FDA regulation is because it doesn't have a toxicity level.
mm.
There's not a dose where
Those
50% of the mice are
recommendations,
dying.
right? Or like a half-life or a,
Yeah. So it's a completely safe product, and it's activating the production of these enzymes. These enzymes clean out the cell, intracellular clean out. Okay. And it's really amazing because when you burn wood, the smoke goes into the air and dissipates. But when you metabolize your food and you get this free radical left over, it gets trapped in your intracellular fluid. That's a much harder problem, but it's solved with these enzymes. And the Protandim, again, activates the body to make the enzymes. The enzymes are very efficient to clean out these free radicals. And usually people see results rather quickly. Now, one of the targets of Protandim includes the nervous system.
mm-hmm,
Okay. But Protandim is a systemic product, it goes everywhere. It's helping to reduce inflammation everywhere in the body. And like I said earlier, the NRF2 technology has other products with LifeVantage, specifically Axio. And Axio comes in different flavors and maybe
and for those that are
without caffeine.
for
Hmm,
those that are watching, if you hadn't heard of Axio, it's basically we're speaking about Protandim NRF2 activator. That's a pill, but Axio activates the NRF2, and it's a drink in the drink form. And so therefore there's caffeinated and decaffeinated. Therefore, um, it's just a different way of activating the pathway. And wouldn't you say Axio is specifically formulated more for the nervous system, more for the brain, than other areas of the body,
correct.
right?
So when people take Axio with Protandim, they get a much quicker targeting impact upon the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about the nervous system, we're talking about the entire nervous system.
Right.
Okay. So I've seen people with Parkinson's disease who are already on many different meds targeting Parkinson's disease that are already still very symptomatic with their disease process, which kind of suggests that the medicines aren't even helping.
Mm,
Do remarkably better when these products are added. Okay.
right.
But remember, this is not about Parkinson's. This is about cleaning out the neurons. And
Right.
when you take away irritation and inflammation away from the nerve cell, whatever that nerve cell is doing, you're going to have improved function that follows, whether it's for cognition, for um, mental health, for chronic pain, for neuropathic pain, for mood, for emotions. It's not oversimplified because there's other things involved like hormones, you know.
Yeah.
But as it relates to the nervous system, we've seen quite a dramatic improvement, even in levels of cognition and correspondingly a, a significant decrease in behaviors that are problematic with dementia.
That's
And
that's a
I could
big,
tell you many stories, but
right. Maybe you could share a couple generalized stories, and then for the sake of time, we don't want to overextend this Zoom, but just maybe like one or two generalized. Obviously, you can't state anything that would
mhm,
identify the person, but what were the
right.
major symptoms that were
Mhm.
improved, and kind of what was the period of time that they used Protandem and Axio, Protandem NRF2 and Axio, um, in your experience?
Yeah. Okay. So today I just got my hair cut. Okay. And I get my haircut at this adult foster care home, either at her home or at her salon, depending on where this lady's at. And she is a mother in Israel, so to speak, and takes care of a lot of um, developmentally and intellectually disabled people. Okay.
Hmm.
And one of the people that lives there, um, she adopted. And this lady is actually older than her, but she's got intellectual development disorder and intellectual. Did I say that twice?
That's
Um,
fine.
yeah, intellectual development disorder, and and I think it's pretty much just that. Okay,
Hmm.
but just today we were talking about her, and the comment was when she's on Protandem, she's altogether a different girl.
Mm.
You know, she's not
Able to
pacing. She's
focus,
not in your.
able to focus better, perhaps.
Hmm?
Like able to focus better, perhaps. Not,
Well,
yeah.
for her, she's not really able to talk clearly, and
Mm.
she will do a lot of pacing, and she will be in your face, in your space, and her face will be flushed, and she's just kind of demanding, right?
Right.
On the Protandem, she just sits down and she's pleasant, and her facial flushing goes away, and she's still very pleasant, but she's not in your face, in your space.
Yeah.
She's not pacing like there's some relentless,
Her
process going on that won't let go.
her energy is more controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just like an hour ago. Okay. But one of my best stories was one of the earliest ones. And it happened to be a lady who was about 95 and someone I knew from church days. And in church, I would always see her sitting, by herself because she was old, but very proper, very well dressed, uh, quite a poise about her. And then I became the doctor at the adult foster care home where she spent her final years. And I saw her there for a while. And in that setting, um, I never saw her open her eyes.
Mm.
Um, and we would go there month after month, and she would never open her eyes. She would be sitting very proper, upright, holding her own posture, but she would not open her eyes, and she would not try to engage in her surroundings, and she never verbalized. And this is what I saw month after month after month. And then we introduced Protandem at this AFC, adult foster care home. And I come to visit this next month. I don't know how long she had been on it, but she was awake. Her eyes were open. And she was actually had a hymnal and she was going through the pages singing songs. And I'm thinking,
Wow.
whatever happened
How,
here?
I missed, how much time period do you think that
I
was?
don't know. I would say 3 months, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I said, so what happened to this lady? And the owner said, well, one day she just opened her eyes and she
Mm,
said, "What are we doing today?"
right. And that's very rare for that to ever happen.
Yeah,
Unheard of. Once you get
yeah,
dementia, you're pretty much a downhill slope. Like,
right. And
which
now
is,
she's like alert and awake all day, every day. She wants to be involved. She wants to fold laundry. She wants to fold napkins, sing
mm,
out of the hymnal, even if it's upside down. But here's the clincher, okay? So one day her granddaughter from Tennessee, and I'm in Michigan, right? So her granddaughter comes through the front door of the AFC, and before she even reaches her grandmother notices her and calls her out by name.
mm,
And this lady has since passed on, right? But
mm,
the family's memory of her was that she was connected
right.
before
And
she
how much,
died. She wasn't zoned out. She was definitely aware, alert, and
right.
somewhat oriented.
And what a gift to give back to the family. Like
Yeah.
that, I think that's why I'm passionate about these products and especially activating the NRF2 pathways. It's not
Hmm.
about, trying to convince people, or it's about giving people hope and more of a chance and more of, you know,
Yeah. And you
time
know
with
what?
their family and their loved ones.
Exactly. And you know what? People spend thousands of dollars every month on a care plan, in
Right.
these settings, adult foster
Hmm.
care. It's maybe four, five,
Pricey.
10,000 a month, right?
Hmm.
And here's a tiny little $50 product that radically changes their life.
Right. It's
Uh,
worth it. It's worth investing. Yeah, like totally. I
hmm.
remember when I first started, I'm a cheapo and I'm like, $50 extra a month. Now I don't even think about it because I feel so much better. I sleep better. I think
Hmm.
clearer. I am there for my kids. And I've had issues with different inflammation as well, which I don't want to get too much off the topic, but definitely, free of anything that's was in the past. I had a neck issue and I had an eye problem that was related to inflammation, and both of those have been relieved. So um, it's worth it financially. It's worth it for the long run. It's worth it for the hope that, we can give to people and give back. Um, yeah, was there anything else in closing that you would like to say to people that are considering using it for themselves or their loved ones, especially in this realm as we age, our brains decline? Um, I know one thing that doctors recommend is not just trying it for a month, trying it for
Yeah,
a longer period of time is very important.
correct. Yeah, I would say that, be committed at least 6 months.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's because as we age, it takes longer for our bodies.
mhm.
The term
And
that I like to use is aging backwards, but we can't really say that it, necessarily makes us younger, but inside our bodies, inside of our cells, it is cleaning out all of that oxidative stress and trash, and that takes a period
mhm,
of time. The older you are, it takes a period of time.
right.
It's not just like a steroid or a band-aid approach. It's a healing
And you
from the
and
inside.
you also build on the gains that you've made.
Mm,
And by continuing to persevere longer and longer, you find that the level of benefit keeps kind of like advancing.
right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you want you're providing like a pathway and you're of health for your body. And if you decrease or stop, you're going to go back downhill. You're not going to build stronger health. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hyde.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Rachel.